Good evening everybody and welcome to the SFNL Netball Show. This lady here is Michaela Bolte. How are you doing, Michaela?
I'm good, thanks. And yourself, Hugh?
I'm going quite well.
That's
Hugh McLean and this is Netball this week. Top stories.
So we have a couple of clubs that made their SFNL debuts, which is something that we'll cover later on in the show.
There's a few players that have reached milestone games this week. Again, we'll highlight those later.
And Heatherton team produced a touching tribute to one of their own, which is something that's really significant for the round.
Injuries, well, thankfully we didn't see too many last Saturday. You might know, Mac, about Tiff McConnell, how far away she is from the Div 1 side?
Yeah, so she's about 4 to 6 weeks, hopefully. I also realised that there was a Morty person that was wearing a moon boot. Do you want to share that, Hugh?
Yeah, that would be Sophie Durnan. And Soph, one of the key planks of the Morty Alex side, and she's probably 2 to 3 weeks away herself. That injury update brought to you by Body First Health Group.
Beautiful. So we had the Div 1 match, and we're just going to quickly review all the matches. And the match of the round was Morty Alec versus Caulfield. So Hugh, do you want to give us a bit more on that?
Yeah, certainly. Well, repeat of last year's grand final, and Morty Alec got the same result really. They beat Caulfield by 37 to 31. Game in which one thing that was notable was the preciseness, the precision of the ball movement from very early in the game. It looked like both sides had prepared well in the off-season. Matt, you're assistant coach down there at the moment.
Yeah, so it was interesting to see Morty Alec and Caulfield both having different lineups this year, and really promising signs for the season ahead and everything like that. And I know that it came close in parts, but I also know that Morty Alec sort of had the upper hand the whole game, so really promising signs from them.
Yeah. Morty Alec took an early 4-goal lead in this one and really didn't let that slip all day.
No.
Caulfield were always around about, but couldn't quite make up the difference. Best players for Morty Alec, you would have to say Danny Wilson in defence, coming back first game from a knee recall. And Jester Garris at wing defence was in everything. Yeah. Best players for Caulfield, Mac?
I think Sophie O'Shea had a really promising game, and she really stepped up in the leadership side of it all, so that was great. And it was just really amazing to see both teams having a good hit out for round one.
Your two key defenders were not regular players, I believe? No,
so we actually had Tiff and Fee away this week. So we had 2 people come in, one was KB and one Rachel, and they were both amazing and really fortunate to have them involved in the club for a couple of weeks, so that's promising for us.
Good that you can call on that.
Yeah.
Other Division 1 results, Oakley District 43 defeated Cheltenham 40. Very, very close game, which I don't think was expected.
No, not at all. And talking to some of the Cheltenham people beforehand, they were very nervous and everything like that, but they came out and had a really promising game against Oakley District, and someone that can't be underestimated.
Cheltenham were really unlucky to drop this one. They were very, very impressive. Combinations looked very, very good. They moved the ball well. Annabelle Gorman and the Seidel sisters were very, very dangerous against Oakley. Really, it's Oakley's Division 1 experience that pulled them through and not much else.
Yeah, so I think for Cheltenham it will be interesting to see how they go throughout the season. I think we all thought going into the round that it would be a very different result.
We did.
But, you know, Cheltenham proved us wrong, and it will be interesting to see how they go next week.
Dingley 43 beat Heatherton 36. You had fairly big raps on Heatherton last week.
Yeah, I did.
And to be honest, despite the scoreline, that wasn't misplaced.
No, so I know they didn't have their full lineup. I know Beth Wilson still wasn't there in the black and white. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see how strong Dingley's come out firing, and really promising to see their season as well.
Dingley's early exit last season really burned with them, and they are really out for retribution this year. and yes, it will be very interesting to see how they go from here on in.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think for Dingley it will be interesting to see how they perform the whole season, but I think in terms of Div 1 there's not going to be a close game, and I think that was shown on Saturday, so that will be really interesting to look into for the rest of the season.
No easy games in Div 1 this year.
Not at all.
A couple of clubs, as mentioned before, made their debut with the association last week.
Yeah.
Frankston Dolphins have launched their first netball sides in Division 3 and Division 8, and they've prepared really well, haven't they?
Yeah, and they have some great supports there and some really promising signs for the season ahead. So.
Claire Halban, the head coach, is formerly from Edithvale Aspendale, was director of coaching there in the MPNFL.
Yeah.
And I believe she was Coach of the Year a couple of times recently.
Yeah, and I know that Edithvale Aspendale have come off some really promising results in their league, not dropping a lot of Div 1 premierships. So with her experience, it will be really great to have that in the league and potentially have Frankston Dolphins in higher divisions with a couple of years to come.
And I really must put out a shout out to Mandy Hall at Frankston Dolphins. She has done a power of work in getting this club up and running, and not only her, I mean there've been a lot there, so props to them really.
Yeah, and Mandy's a great person in the league, always giving up time and helping to build the league in a positive way, so that's great for Frankston Dolphins.
One of the league's real identities, I think.
Absolutely, so great to have her in Frankston Dolphins and see their growth and potential come from the season.
Now we've had the VAFA club, Parkdale Vultures, join us as well in Division 6 and Division 9.
Yeah, so that's another interesting one there, and it shows the real growth of the league and how big the league's actually gotten. I know starting playing 3-4 years ago that the league was much smaller, and it's nice to see that we're able to reach the Div 9s as well and have a div for everybody to get on the court.
We've got 10 this year.
Yeah, so that's great for the league and great for the growth.
Big shout out as well to Sky Football and Netball Club.
Yeah.
They've returned to the league after a short absence. It's great to see them have a side back together. They're in Division 7. They won their first game by a goal.
Oh, great. That's a great result for them and really promising to have them back in the league and involved again.
Yeah, we love having them there, and certainly anything that makes our league strong is a good one.
Yeah, and also we had Oakley make their Div 1 debut. And it was really great to see them up there, 2 black and white clubs in Div 1 now, so
Indeed,
real interest in there, but some really promising signs from Oakley. Obviously a close game for their first hit out, but building still, so there's lots of potential there.
Now Mac, you caught up with Tina Mifsud before the game. We might just throw to that interview now.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're joined with Tina here from Oakley District. Their first game in Div 1 with a whole new lineup and really exciting for the league. So Tina, how are we feeling?
Feeling really excited. I just had a little word to the girls and said to them, this club is actually just pumping that they've got a team above Divi 5, so to have 3 teams above that. Our Thursday night at the club, it was an amazing turnout and support for netballers, which is great to see.
Yeah, absolutely. So really exciting to have Oakley in Division 1. And what's your have you got anything hidden away? What would be your biggest signing for the round and for the season ahead?
So Gabby Dwyer is our biggest signing. So she's one of 6 in the AIS Tools camp, which you've got to be, I believe, above 6'3". So she is only 19, has played state ever since she was under 12s. So really big signing for us. Yeah.
Yeah, that's super exciting. And taking on Cheltenham today, how do you feel about that?
Oh, look, I said to the girls, even though Cheltenham are coming up from Divi 2, I got to play against them last year, and they are fierce. They have desire. Danielle's a good coach, and she's bred that into them. So I said, don't take this lightly. They're going to come out, and they're going to come out wanting to win round 1.
Yeah, absolutely. And I guess you guys were known for your little rituals last year with spray tans and everything like that. Have we got anything under the stocks for this year, or what's the go?
Yes, we did Fake Tan Friday last night, except Bailey, who's had a great summer and is naturally very tan this year. So Kirst Daly, I don't think we could actually get her to do a spray tan. So we laugh every Saturday. It takes her about 10 minutes to put on a sunscreen.
Oh, okay. So it'd nearly be worth doing the tan.
Yeah.
Well, really good luck today, and we're excited to see how you go in Division 1. So good luck. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
So funny there with the Fake Tan Fridays, and it's nice to see that they're keeping that up, and it was beautiful to see them all on the court smiling and enjoying their first game in Div 1.
If it works for you, it works for you, doesn't it? And look, they really had to work hard for their win on Saturday. Look, they're too classy not to be near the top, let's be honest, but certainly Cheltenham gave a very good account of themselves, and probably the most impressive display of the weekend, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. And in that, we had some really important milestone games. So from Caulfield, a big shout out to Sophie O'Shea having her 50th game in the Bears uniform. Someone who's a really big part of our club, was part of our first team and is still up there in Div 1 and is a real leader. So it was great to have her have her 50th game.
Great leader, and again, one of the competition's great identities, so congratulations, Sophie. Somebody who at Mordialloc is really held in very high esteem, Kim Pike, down the divisions. I think she's playing for Mordialloc's third or fourth side now. But 50 games for Mordialloc, all played with 110% intensity, and she is very loved down at Mordialloc, and they were very keen for me to mention that. Yeah,
absolutely. It's great to have all our 50th games come through, and here there's another one for Mordialloc potentially on Saturday.
Yes, Lucy McEwen plays her 50th on Saturday. She is really the heart and soul of the Division 1 side. And she gets to play her 50th on Saturday.
Yeah, and I have to say though, Lucy, I was a bit disappointed you weren't rocking your pink flamingo socks that you're known for in the Interleague, so hopefully we'll see them. So hopefully they'll come out on Saturday for a 50th game, something maybe a bit bolder.
You see, there's a challenge for you, Lucy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. So to move on from that.
Speaking of socks.
We actually had Heatherton, so you might have seen, having some colourful socks and armbands on the weekend. And Hugh, can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, this is a slightly sad story. The gesture was in memory of Mandy Quinn's husband. Mandy is another heart and soul player for the Heatherton club. Sadly, her husband passed away from brain cancer about a month ago. Our heart goes out to you, everyone connected with this program. Our heart goes out to you, Mandy, because you are a quality person, and it's a shame to see this happen to you. So we are all with you, and we all wish you the very, very best of fortune going forward.
Yeah, and it was really touching to see the whole Heatherton club get behind that, and it was a really touching gesture to see that everyone got behind it, and it was something bright and bold. So,
and it only shows the respect with which Mandy's held within
that club. Absolutely. So Mandy, all the best, and our thoughts go to you and your family during this time. But in a slightly different tone, Hugh, can you tell us a little bit about someone you caught up with on the courts on the weekend?
Yes, I caught up with Dingley coach Adrian Ballantyne before the Dingley side went on to face Heatherton, and only managed to catch him very soon before the final the opening siren went. So I really thank you for your time there, Adrian. But we might throw to that interview now. I've got Adrian Ballantyne here, the Dingley coach, start of another season. Dingley exiting the first week of finals last year, mate. How much did that burn?
Yeah, look, certainly not something we're used to. We'd much prefer to be playing in the last week. But, it's certainly driven us through this pre-season. And the girls are certainly keen to atone for last year. It was a disappointing end. But, looking forward to a good season.
I can see a few faces that I've known quite a bit over the last few years, but also quite a few faces that I don't know. Who have you managed to bring in, mate?
Yeah, we've got Ella Quinlan, who's come in as a goaler. She's going to be a really strong option. She plays VNL for Southern Saints. She's going to be quite strong. We had Kirsty Clark last year, and this year we've got her twin sister Lorna, who's come across, who's going to play through the mid-court for us, and she'll be strong as well. And we've also got Emily Kay as well, who's come into defence. So she comes from Bayside and, keen to step up.
I see the old axis of Sarah Merkus and Shay Wonnacott there. Obviously very fierce competitors. They must be very keen to atone for last year.
Yeah, definitely. I think all three of those guys with Alicia Wise in there as well, just been training the house down over summer in their own time, and really keen. Obviously they've been around for a long time, but great that they're keen to take their game to the next level this season as well.
Okay, so we know Dingley are going to be an incredibly fit side. They always are. Have you got the quality at each end of the court to get to the last day in August, do you think?
Yeah, I think so. Look, we probably struggled probably more so down our goaling end a little bit last year, just with some of the connections and just finishing off towards the end of last season. So, I think with Ella in there, providing a bit more stability and a really solid target, that's what we've aimed to sort of fill in the off-season, and we're keen to see how she goes.
Well, thanks for your time, Adrian. I wish you well today, and wish you good luck for the season.
Thanks, Huey. Thanks, mate.
So coming back from AJ's interview, that was really interesting, Huey, and great that we had that insight before the first round.
Yeah, AJ's a thinker, and he knows his side well. He knows what makes them tick. Very, very good, very experienced coach, and he's a good acquisition for the league when he came over a couple of years ago. So. Yeah, good to have him.
Absolutely. So we're going to jump into some previews for the up-and-coming games. So first of all, we have off the bat Caulfield versus Dingley. So this one seems, Huey, that it will be pretty tight potentially in elements, but what's your pick?
Well, Caulfield have a few coming back this week.
Yes, we do have a few. Hopefully we have the likes of Dom, Megan and Phoebe back on the court. So back to our steady side.
So there's your defence, basically.
Yeah.
There's your back three. Dingley looked very potent up front. Ella Quinlan only played half a game, but certainly showed that she's fitting in very well, and had an able deputy in Laura Piper there.
Yes.
Dingley's defence always strong. They always fight hard for every ball. Tough one to pick. I'll go Dingley at a pinch.
Yeah, I think I'm going to have to go Caulfield with this, but it'll be a really interesting game. And as we said earlier, no close games this year. Next off, we have Cheltenham versus St Paul's. So St Paul's first game for the season, because they had a bye round one. It'll be interesting, I think. We have two very young sides.
We do, don't we?
And I think off Cheltenham's first round, they might come in beaming and really push the likes of St Paul's.
It'll be interesting to see who lines up for St Paul's in this game.
Yep.
St Paul's tend to be a very tight sort of side. They don't like giving the opposition much space. Cheltenham will like a bit more space to work with. So it'll be interesting to see how this game was played. With St Paul's having the bye in round one, and Cheltenham did enough for me in round one to suggest that they might get the chocolates in this one.
Yeah, so two really different types of games coming from those clubs. Mm-hmm. So I think I'm going to back Cheltenham in this. I think that their energy and also their youth might come over St Paul's.
Heatherton v Mordialloc. What do you think about this one, mate?
Yeah, so I think this will be really interesting to see. Obviously, Mordialloc had a great hit out last week. But what's your thoughts?
I think Mordialloc will win this. I think they'll win it reasonably comfortably.
Okay.
Heatherton will trouble sides, and look, they certainly have got the personnel to put a good score on the board in any game. I really not sure about their defence against Mordialloc, and it's certainly not a knock on Heatherton. Mordialloc, they're probably the yardstick this year. But I think they'll just be a bit too good in this one. Yeah,
I think Heatherton being coming together this season, also with Mordialloc being together for so long and having that connection will be an impact that they'll be able to carry through the game. And we also have Oakley District with a bye, so a nice rest after round one to rest those sore bodies.
So they have the week off?
Yeah, get those fake tans on.
Okay.
So Hugh, who could we not do this without, our amazing sponsors?
Well, of course, and we have partners in Swiv's Locker, Body First Health Group, Frankie Media, and Sports Performance Tracking.
Yeah, absolutely. And Hugh, can you tell us a bit more about the SFNL Netball Facebook page?
Well, it's certainly there for everyone to access. So jump on to your Facebook and search for GameFace SFNL Netball. It's a dedicated netball site. And look, let us know what you want to see on the show. Send in your news, any comments you have, any content, you know, whatever. It's there for you people out there, so use it.
Yeah, it'd be great to get the likes up on that. So, and also you have the GameFace app. So that's a one-stop shop for all the scores, ladders, netball news, and content. And I guess remember, get your GameFace on.